Throw things over to Bisla, who's keeping it real estate. Keeping it real estate. Bisla, over to you.
Thanks, Matt. Chances are you might be going through a period of downsizing right now, or at least you know somebody who's about to. But downsizing does bring about some challenges, and my guest Ian is here to talk to us about how to make downsizing an easier process. Welcome to the show, Ian.
Thank you, Bisla.
So why do people downsize?
Well, there's two reasons people downsize. Personally, they're going to downsize when they're in a house and sometimes their kids have moved away. So they're in maybe 3,000 square feet and they really most of us only live in 3 or 4 rooms, the kitchen, bathroom, maybe your bedroom and a study perhaps. And that's about it. You don't go downstairs in the rest of your house. So you're looking around going, why do I need a house this big? So you want to downsize to maybe 1,500 square feet. The other reason people downsize or think of downsizing is because of their parents. So, I'm 58, my dad's 89, and he is in possibly in a townhouse and now needs to go to a smaller space again. So it's from 2,500 to 1,500 down to 500 perhaps in some form of assisted living. And that can be quite stressful both for the parent moving and the person who's trying to help them, right?
So what challenges do people face when they are about to downsize?
Well, the challenges could be anything from finances. A lot of us, when we own a single family home, we want to sell our house and then buy something smaller for the same price. So we don't want to spend any more money. And part of the challenge is more people are looking for smaller homes today than are looking for big homes. So it can be frustrating and quite disappointing for people if they own a house that's $375,000, but what they want to buy is $425,000. So it's more money.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. And the other one is the thought of where is my stuff going to go?
That's a big one.
Right? All of us have stuff. It's in the garage. It's in the basement.
Underneath your bed.
It's underneath the bed. It's in the closet. The kids left it when they moved out. My kids did that. There's things in the garage, and what am I going to do with all my stuff? Because it won't fit where you're going, right? So that's a big challenge, and part of being a downsizing specialist is figuring out ways that we can support people doing that, and different companies in town are now starting to start up to help in that process.
So how can one walk through these challenges to kind of make it an easier process?
Well, I think it's planning in advance. It's like many things. It's thinking, okay, if it's my own house, I need to start thinking before it needs to happen. And I guess the best way to say that is only a crisis initiates action. We hear that sometimes. I'm living in my house, everything's fine, and then perhaps I have a fall or some health issue that makes me want to move quickly. And so the more you're prepared for that, so if you can think of, if I haven't been using a lot of things in my house, how can I give them to my kids now, have garage sales now, and know that eventually you're not going to stay in the house that you're in. So the more work that you're doing, the better. And financially, even if you're not thinking of moving for a year or two, maybe it's time to start looking now for smaller homes and see what they are going to cost, so you can either, adjust your lifestyle somewhat or perhaps stay in your own home. Like there's ways to downsize in your own home. I've talked to people that are living in a house that's 3,000 square feet and 15 per floor. So they put a suite downstairs where they don't go anyways. And now they're living in a 1,500 square foot home with income downstairs. So that's the thing about downsizing. Sometimes you don't have to move to downsize.
Actually, that's a great plan. So quickly, do you have any other tips for people who are in the process of downsizing right now, or who are planning to downsize in the near future?
I think the biggest tip is to talk to your family members about it. Specifically, well, there's the two categories. If someone is, 70 or 75, and they should be bringing it up now. Lots of times we don't want to do that because we're either embarrassed that this point of life is changing for us. And that's usually why people don't want to talk about it. They'd rather not get old. And, we are. And sometimes the next move is going to be a significant one for you. Maybe it's you're not driving your car anymore. So the more you're talking about that, even if it's uncomfortable, the better it is. It makes everybody want to help you more and in a positive
And
light.
actually plan towards it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Ian.